in a mind, Bhagavat, with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Parsvavartini, being constantly associated. Tamaha, the dark planet. Chandramasi, in the moon. Eva, like. Idam, this cosmic manifestation. Uparajva, being connected. Abhavashate, becomes manifest. Translation. Krishna consciousness means constantly associating with the Supreme Personality of Godhead in such a mental state that the devotee can observe the cosmic manifestation exactly as the Supreme Personality of Godhead does. Such observation is not always possible, but it becomes manifest exactly like the dark planet known as Rahu, which is observed in the presence of the full moon. Krishna consciousness means constantly associating with the Supreme Personality of Godhead in such a mental state that the devotee can observe the cosmic manifestation exactly as the Supreme Personality of Godhead does. Such observation is not always possible, but it becomes manifest exactly like the dark planet known as Rahu, which is observed in the presence of the full moon. Purport by Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. It has been explained in the previous verse that all desires on the mental platform become visible one after another. Sometimes, however, by the supreme will of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the whole stockpile can be visible all at one time. In the Brahma Samhita 554, it is said, Karmani nirdahati kintu chabakti bhajam. When a person is fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness, his stockpile of material desire is minimized. Indeed, the desires no longer fructify in the form of gross bodies. Instead, the stockpile of desires becomes visible on the mental platform by the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this connection, the darkness occurring before the full moon, the lunar eclipse, can be explained as being another planet known as Rahu. According to Vedic astronomy, the Rahu planet, which is not visible, is accepted. Sometimes the Rahu planet is visible in the presence of full moonlight. It then appears that this Rahu planet exists somewhere near the orbit of the moon. The failure of modern moon excursionists may be due to the Rahu planet. In other words, those who are supposed to be going to the moon may actually be going to this invisible planet Rahu. Actually, they're not going to the moon, but to the planet Rahu. And after reaching this planet, they come back. Apart from this discussion, the point is that a living entity has immense and unlimited desires for material enjoyment. And he has to transmigrate from one gross body to another until these desires are exhausted. No living entity is free from the cycle of birth and death unless he takes to Krishna consciousness. Therefore, in this verse, it is clearly stated, Satvaika Nishte. Satvaika Nishte. That when one is fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness, in one stroke, he is free of past and future mental desires. Then, by the grace of the Supreme Lord, everything becomes simultaneously manifest within the mind. In this regard, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur cites the example of Mother Yasoda's seeing the whole cosmic manifestation within the mouth of Lord Krishna. By the grace of Lord Krishna, Mother Yasoda saw all the universes and planets within the mouth of Krishna. Similarly, by the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, a Krishna conscious person can see all his dormant desires at one time and finish all his future transmigrations. This facility is especially given to the devotee to make his path clear for returning home back to Godhead. Why we see things not experienced in this life is explained herein. Why we see things not experienced in this life is explained herein. Period missing. That which we see is a future expression of a gross body, or is already stocked in our mental stockpile. Because a Krishna conscious person does not have to accept a future gross body, his recorded desires are fulfilled in a dream. We therefore sometimes find things in a dream never experienced in our present life. Om Tat Sat. So here Narada Muni continues teaching the king about the mind. Jai. Where do we find instructions of the mind? In the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6. Almost entirely, the Lord instructs Arjuna how to control the mind. And there he basically tells Arjuna that you make your mind your friend by controlling it. If your mind is uncontrolled, then your mind will be your worst enemy. But if your mind is controlled, then your mind will become your best friend. Pandur Admat Manastasya. So the mind is very important. And thus, Narada Muni, just like Lord Krishna, talks about the mind. All this section, it's dedicated to the mind. Mana eva manushasya. The mind is the cause of the living entities attaining a certain type of body. In fact, this news, it's very good news in one sense. In other words, whatever we want to become, we can become, just with the mind. One may think, oh, but that's not too realistic. I want to become millionaire, and I work so hard, and I don't become a millionaire. So how is it? According to the Vedic process, you can become a millionaire if you follow the path. For that, you have to become very pious. You have to give a lot of charity. You have to worship the different devatas, Kubera, etc. You have to check your astrology and see which is your Ista Devata. And then you have to see whom you have to give charity in which month, in which day. So many things. And then of course you may have to go to college, right? Or if your family is rich or some relatives are rich, you may learn, like I know in South India, there are very rich people because they are jewelers, no? and they deal with diamonds and gold, and also other people have land, right? Some of these people, they don't even go to college, right? They just learn the trade, and they themselves become millionaires, isn't it? Sometimes they become millionaires, and then become politicians. They become very powerful. So everything depends on the mind in many, many ways. Of course, ultimately, like the Bhagavad Gita explains, at the end of the day, it's the sanction. Prabhu, can I get a Bhagavad Gita? It's the one without cover. The English one. The one without cover. Doesn't have cover. It's there. Doesn't have cover. The only one that doesn't have cover. That's it. So, in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains that there are many elements of action. But ultimately, it's the sanction of the Lord. That's what it's all about. So in this particular verse, Narada Muni says, Krishna consciousness means constantly associating with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In such a mental state that the devotee can observe the cosmic manifestation exactly as the Supreme Personality of Godhead does. Prabhupada gives example that Mother Yasoda was able to see the cosmic manifestation. Where? In Lord Krishna's mouth. Right? Like Mother Yasoda, she's carrying Krishna all the time. But that particular time, Krishna played a trick. Right? Sometimes Krishna plays tricks like that. And he shows things to the devotees. For example, Arjuna, he showed the universal form. A universal form, there are many universal forms, but that particular universal form, never seen before, unique, new model, new version. So he showed everything like that. Just like a special favor. In the same way, Lord Krishna showed within his mouth the whole cosmic manifestation. How is it possible? Mother Yasoda was feeling dizzy. She started feeling like something is wrong, you know. Sometimes, you know, when you stand up too quickly and you feel a little giddy, like that, you have to grab yourself because everything starts spinning around. You see lights, you feel flush, like that. So here, Narada Muni explains that sometimes you can see these things. You can see special things. This is not ordinary, but sometimes you may see. Also, sometimes in the womb, it is explained in the Bhagavatam, in the first canto, that sometimes in the womb the baby can see the Lord. Sometimes can see, sometimes can feel. The Prabhupada explains, due to piety, the baby is there and is thinking, no more. No more. I don't want this no more. The baby is suffering. We say happy birthday, happy birthday. But actually the baby is suffering. It's surrounded by urine, stool, worms. Different things bite him. The skin, it's very red. You see when the babies are born, the skins are very red. They're all like Chinese, swollen like that. It's not a happy situation. Happy birthday because they come out. But sometimes due to Krishna's mercy, the baby sees or perceives the Lord and he prays. And sometimes Prabhupada also says they remember that prayer. Sometimes they forget. Oh, I'm sorry. You know, when you are in trouble and then your teacher or your father or your parents they catch you doing some mischief. Yeah, and they pull your ear like that, and then they beat you like that. And you think, no, 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 never again. No, no, this time I'll, you know. Naughty kids are like that. But then again they do it. They forget and again they do it. So in any case, by the Lord's mercy, sometimes you see things. So cosmic manifestation is one thing. I don't know how many of you have seen cosmic manifestation. I haven't seen. But also, this is interesting. Prabhupada says in the purport that sometimes you see your previous desires. That we can see. Especially if you're a little older. Maybe above 30 or 40. Like that. Prabhupada explains that you can see so many desires that you had when you were little. When you were 12, I'm sure you had desires. Oh, when I grow up, I want to be this, that. I want to have this big car, this big house. So many desires. And then I want to enjoy by the beach with my friends. And I want to have dogs. And I want to have music equipment. And like that. And then you grew up 15, 18, 20, 25, 30, 35. So many things, so many things. All this piled up. Unlimited desires, Prabhupada says, for material enjoyment. Right? And all that gives you a particular body. In order to enjoy every party, you know, every party you go, you have a particular mindset. Huh? I know you're all saintly, but I remember you go to a party and then you have to, oh, who's there? How's he dressing? How she's dressing? How am I dressing? And then you go shake hands. And then, right? And then, oh, I want to do business with that person. Or I may get a job with that company. So you're thinking many, many things. It's mental. Right? And people dressed up nicely just in case. You put your best clothes, your best shoes. Everything has to look baka. The ladies wear these expensive, what do you call these bags, handbags? Lakhs of rupees, lakhs. Sometimes they have diamonds, like that, you know? Some of these bags, shoes, I see in the airport. Or these, what do you call, brand designers. I see in the airport. Now here in India. You know? In the West, you generally don't see like that. People keep that for party. Here in India, I see in Bangalore, sometimes in Chennai. Bangalore especially. Huh? I can see those shoes. Whoa. Expensive shoes. Super bags. Sometimes super watch. You know, India is becoming very, very advanced materially, and they want to show it off. You know, if you go to the airport, a lot of important people may be there, some politicians, some business people, some relatives, right? It's like a party. So they all dressed up nicely like that. It's a mental state. And so many times you go to the airport or to a party or to this convention or that event, it's a mental state. So Prabhupada explains here. It's one body to the next. Next weekend, it's another body. Next weekend, it's another body. Next weekend, it's another body. So in the same way, Prabhupada says that sometimes a devotee can see all that. Oh, I remember all what I used to desire. I used to desire so many things. Huh? But here it is the beauty of Krishna consciousness. When one is fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness, in one stroke, one stroke, like that. You need many strokes. But in Krishna consciousness, you need just one stroke. Just one and everything, like a magic eraser. In one stroke, you're free from past and future mental desires. Sometimes we're thinking, let me be Krishna conscious, but let me have some heavenly pleasures, right? Let me be rich in Krishna consciousness. Why not? And I can quote this verse, and I can quote this Maharaj, this king, that king, isn't it? In Bhagavatam, most of the great devotees are rich people. Yes or no? Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruva Maharaj, he has a whole planet. All the Pandavas, super rich, emperors of the world. Queen Kunti, Lord Ram, and you name it, all Maharajas. Maharajas there are not the Swamis. No Swamis. Maybe a few, here are the Swamis. Apart from that, everyone was rich, queen, king, all that. So sometimes one may think, let me be rich and let me be comfortable. Why not? What is this fanatism? Like that. That's why I like to come to this temple, because here it's very austere. You sleep on the floor. Everything is very austere. Reminds me of my old days in Krishna consciousness. No bedding, just some clothes, something like that. So this is real. Like that. I see Prabhus hardly have any pillow. They put your hand like this, like Bhagavatam says. When one is fully absorbed in Krishna consciousness, in one stroke, everything is gone. No more mental desires. There's only one mental desire. How to serve Krishna. What Krishna wants. That's the only thing. Everything else becomes insignificant by the grace of the Supreme Lord. You can see it. You can see it. Huh? Don't you have that feeling when you go into that luxurious car? Huh? Now Uber, Ola, and sometimes you get a good car. It's clean, smells nice, nice aircon. Sometimes music is there. No? And you sit and it feels. I generally take auto because it's cheaper. Smells, smoke. But sometimes when I take a car, it feels so good, so comfortable. Otherwise, Ola. All the smells of Chennai in half an hour, everything comes. Whoa. So sometimes it feels good to be comfortable. So one may think, what's the problem? Let me be comfortable. Why I can have a supercar and a super house? That's okay. If you can manage, that's okay. If you are like one of those Maharajas, king, queens, then it's okay. But generally in my case, after 3 seconds, I forget Krishna. I'm thinking, put the AC on. So nice. I wish I have a milkshake. I forget Krishna like that. But when you sleep on the floor, you always remember Krishna. Oh, Krishna, thank you. Thank you for this hard floor. Like that. Some mosquitoes are coming. Put the fan. Like that. Austerity sometimes awakens our dependency on the Lord. Like when you're sick, you know what happens when you're sick? Oh, Krishna, please help me. Yeah. But when you're strong and healthy and stout, full of life, you come out, oh, here I am. I'm going to enjoy today. Which shopping center would I go? I have so much money in my bank account. I can go and enjoy and buy. What should I buy today? Oh, a nice silk shirt. And I'm looking into that new car. That's the tendency. You have to be very, very focused and well trained not to forget Krishna. That's why it's sometimes dangerous to have too much opulence like that. That's why advanced devotees, they live very simply. You see the swamis, people like that, they live very simply. However, there are devotees who are able to manage, who are able to manage opulence. That's okay. Grihastas are generally allowed. But you have to be mindful. You have to be mindful. So, what else do we have? Similarly, by the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, a Krishna conscious person can see all his dormant desires at one time and finish all his future transmigration. Now there's another thing. You see, if we remember what we desired when we were younger, right? So many desires. So many, even as a devotee, I remember. I wish I have a Walkman so I can hear Prabhupada's. I wish I have a disc player. I wish I have a car so I can drive my Guru Maharaj. I wish I have a big house so we can have a big temple. So many desires, right? But that's okay. But one exercise, important exercise here, Prabhupada says, future transmigrations. Just think for a minute. How do you think your next body is going to be? How do you want it to be? Do you want it to be a man? Do you want it to be a woman? What do you want? Where do you want to born? In dear Perumbur, Chennai, India? Or do you want to have a chance to born in Europe or in America? No need for visa, no need for passport. Maybe born as a son or daughter of a very rich family. Opulence. You don't have to worry about taxes and nothing. Nothing. Of course, and be Krishna conscious. What do you want? We have to think about these things. Chapter 8 Bhagavad Gita talks all about dying. Chapter 6 talks all about the mind. Chapter 8 talks all about dying. Why? Because at one point we're going to face death. And if we are not ready, then we end up in the wrong place. And then you realize, oh, what am I doing here? Wrong calculation. Right? I don't want to be here. Stuck in this situation. I don't know, whatever. You have to think what is the most conducive way to be Krishna conscious. What is the best way that I can serve my Guru Maharaj and the devotees, Srila Prabhupada's mission? Gorkishore Babaji, he prays in one song. He says, let me born as a dog, but of your devotee. Let me born as a dog. To make kukure Vaishnav. Let me be the kukur. Kukur means dog of the Vaishnava. That's his meditation. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he prays. What does he say? Let me be born as an insect. Sometimes we see insects going around. I chase them. Paranoid against insects. In India, you find 8,400,000 species of insects. Kanamba Kanana Swami says even more in Mayapur. Insects that you never imagined they exist. They're everywhere. They come from everywhere. We Westerners are a little pedantic about that. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he prays, let me be born as an insect in the house of a devotee. Like that. So what do you want? You want to be with Krishna? Or you want to be with the energy of Krishna? AC and all the opulences? What do you want? This facility is especially given to the devotee to make his path clear for returning home back to Godhead. What is this facility? The devotee can see. The devotee can see. If I don't get my act together, I may miss the train. I may miss the flight. I may end up in the wrong place. So Krishna says to the devotee, or he gives to the devotee, okay, see. See past and see future. Oh, again I'm going to get caught. Again I'm going to get complicated, disturbed, distracted. I don't want to be distracted this next lifetime, please. So then his path is clear. Like that. Krishna tells Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita in chapter 3. Bhagavad Gita is super practical. In chapter 3, Arjuna asks Krishna, why do we fall? You know that verse, right? Atakena prajukto jambapam charati purusha. Why do we fall? Why do we fall down? So, Krishna answers, Kama esha, Krodha esha, Raja Guna Samudbhava. Because of the mode of passion, and out of that passion, lust and anger, that's why you fall down. That's one question. In chapter 6, he asks a similar question. If somebody falls down and he's been practicing, sometimes for a long time, sometimes for a short time, what happens? Two questions. Chapter 3, text 36, I believe, and 640 something. Arjuna asked, what happened? Where does that person go? If you fail in your endeavor, where did you end up? What is that verse? Who remembers? 40 something. Forget Bhagavad Gita. Here, 30 something. 37. What is the destination of the unsuccessful transcendentalist, who in the beginning takes to the process of self-realization with faith, but who later desists due to worldly mindedness and thus does not attain perfection? That's the question in text 37, chapter 6. And in chapter 3, he asks similar question. 36. Coincidental or what? Okay, chapter 6, 37, that's one question. And chapter 3, 36. Arjuna said, O descendant of Brisni, by what is one impelled to sinful acts, even unwillingly, as if engaged by force? So, why we fall down? Passion, lust, and anger. And where do we go when we fall down? According to Krishna, what happens? Huh? We have two options. If we have practiced yoga for a long time, right? Let's see what Krishna says. First of all, Krishna gives a warning. My devotee never perishes. That's the first thing. Krishna will protect us somehow. Okay? However, we have to be careful. And this is the wrong place that we may end up. The unsuccessful yogi, after many, many years of enjoyment on the planet of the pious living entities, is born into a family of righteous people or into a family of rich aristocracy. Yeah? You may have it good. Very comfortable. No worries about money or all those things. You are taken care of. This is one of the benefits. People sometimes they say, oh, let me worship this demigod, that demigod. Let me buy lottery. Let me do this, that. No, Krishna says in chapter 8 and many places that if you do this yagya, you don't have to worry about all those things. In chapter 3, you can see, you do this yagya, the demigods will provide all what you need. Don't worry about it. And if you fail, don't worry about it. You're going to end up in a good destination. This is like encouraging for some. Right? But for someone who's sincere, he doesn't want to go there. Right? It's pious people. Prabhupada also said the best people in India are the South Indian Brahmins. You know that, right? This is not to become proud. Some of you may have that background. Prabhupada said, Bharata Bhumite, that in India, people who takes birth in India, they have the duty to help the whole world. And out of the best, South Indian Brahmins, because they are more strict. And they follow and they chant and they do all these things, right? So, that is if you have practiced for a long time. Sorry, for a short time. But if after long practice of yoga, he takes birth in the family of a devotee, of transcendentalists, who are surely great in wisdom, certainly such a birth is rare in this world. Take birth as a devotee is very, very rare. In fact, Prabhupada says, in that purport, he refers to his Guru Maharaj. Right? Right? Very fortunate. He says, he took birth in the family of devotee, and his Guru Maharaj, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, also took birth in the family of devotee, who happened to take birth in the family of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who also was born as a devotee because he comes from the lineage of Narottam Das Thakur, big acharyas. So like that. Anyway, our point today is the mind. So let's think about the mind and how the mind in the past gave us trouble and in the future also may give us trouble. Why, Prabhupada concludes, why we see things not experienced in this life is explained herein. There's a period missing here. That which we see is the future expression of a gross body. Imagine what would your life would be if you wouldn't be a devotee. Imagine, where would you be? What would you be doing? Would you look older? Would you look handsome? Would you look morose or happier or crazy looking? Long hair, for sure. Maybe hair falling. We don't know. So Prabhupada says, it's already stock in the mental stockpile. It's like you have those books there. I always see these books pile there. So in the cell there, pile. Always I see pile books. So imagine like that, so many mental desires piled up from the past or the future, like that. Prabhupada says, because a Krishna conscious person does not have to accept a future gross body, his recorded desires are fulfilled in a dream. Huh? Sometimes you have dreams, no? Sometimes very pleasant dreams. Sometimes not pleasant dreams. Because this is Krishna's mercy, then you are fulfilled those dreams, those desires in a dream. Huh? Have you ever experienced those things? Huh? No? Do you? Have you had dreams like that? You? Yes? Sometimes I dream, this is my dream, that I'm in a beach, like a paradise, because I like beach. And my friends are there, my old friends. And they are somewhat devotees. And we're doing Abhishek. Some kind of Abhishek. And everyone is devotee. And there are waves, and there's the sun, and this is like a pious dream. I don't want that dream. I want to be in Mayapur. Because here in this dream I may forget Krishna like that. Because my friends, they want to enjoy. My Guru Maharaj says, preach to your friends. Don't forget them. Preach to them. But I know that sometimes those dreams or desires can easily deviate from Krishna. Easily. Easily. But with the devotees, guaranteed. Devotee is fixed. That's why Prabhupada says, therefore sometimes we find things in a dream never experienced in our present life. That's why the recommendation for the mind is you always associate with someone who's higher than you. You always associate with someone who's more advanced than you. Right? Because if you always associate with someone who's less advanced than you, then the tendency is to the less. Less practice, less strictness, less chanting, less reading, less service. So you always have to look for those devotees who are more advanced and try to follow them. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, how many hours he slept? Anybody? 2 hours? Maximum 3 hours, 4 hours. Prabhupada also. Bhaktisiddhanta also. You know? But imagine if you associate with someone who sleeps 10 hours. Then you sleep more. Or eat more. Or sense gratification. More sense gratification. So this is the process of Krishna consciousness. Sometimes Krishna shows us. Sometimes I tell my wife, imagine what would be our lives without Krishna consciousness. You are Indian background, so for you it's maybe easier. You know, you will be pious somewhat, like that. You are pious people. But we Westerners, whew, I cannot even imagine how to begin. The movies, you see all these Russian, Chinese, Africans, Americans, Europeans, crazy life. Crazy life. Every Friday, Saturday, you go out. I don't know here in Chennai, I don't know how things are, but I know a lot of people drinking and partying and all that. But believe me, never as crazy as in the West. Crazy. We go on Harinam on Friday, Saturday. Everyone is partying, drinking, young girls, young boys, everybody, dancing, fighting, dress, no dress. It's crazy. The only good thing is Harinam is coming. And then everybody likes it because everybody likes to chant and dance. And then everyone is dancing with the devotees, jumping up and down. They take a book, Haribol, Haribol. They love the color, the garland. That's the only thing in the West. That's the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Prabhupada says that in the days of his Leela, there was only 2 Jagai Madais. Now there are so many Jagai Madais. Plenty. Everywhere you go, every weekend, everybody Jagai Madai. And sometimes they attack devotees. I have seen. They come and challenge like that. They threaten you like this. So, Krishna consciousness is very powerful. Very powerful. Beyond whatever we can imagine, Krishna consciousness is much more powerful. The only missing, the only lacking is that we don't have enough faith. Because any one of us can go anywhere around the world. You can talk to somebody about Krishna consciousness, and that person can change his or her life. Any one of you. Any one of you. But do you have the faith? Do we have the faith? Right? I'm trained to do that. My Guru Maharaj, he trained me. He says, anywhere I tell you to go, you just go. And you just do it. Although even I don't have the faith, and still I can go. Out of false ego, I just go. But anywhere, I have seen anywhere. China, Middle East, Asia, America, anywhere. It's amazing. Everybody needs Krishna consciousness. Everybody. It's amazing. I have seen it. And generally, I don't have the vision. But if I force myself, like sometimes you have your video, your phone, your smartphone, and you're waiting in the airport long hours like that. So I put some class, some recording, something. Because I'm spacing out. So I put, and then I'm watching or hearing. And then I become Krishna conscious. My Guru Maharaj, Bhakti Vikash Maharaj, some class, and my mind becomes Krishna conscious. So sometimes you have to force yourself to be Krishna conscious. Right? I remember we were coming from LA. We're finishing our tour in America with my son. And we have gone to so many temples. We have gone to South America. We were like full surcharged. And we were like in a relaxed mode. Okay, we finished our duty. Oh, we are so happy now. We're on our way back to Mayapur. Okay, we finished our job. And I thought for a few moments, so many of these people, they don't have Krishna consciousness. LA airport is huge. So many. And I thought, just this thought, how the mind is so powerful. If I can make one person Krishna conscious, one person, right? My life will be better. I just thought like that. Because I'm thinking, the devotees gave us so much prasadam, vegan cake, juice, sabji, chapati, this, that, so many things. They packed us 2 bags. We're loaded. And my son, he likes his prasadam. And I'm thinking, yes, yes. I not lying. As soon as I thought like that, one lady came. She was African, South African or something, working in the airline. And she came, we were sitting here, and she sat there. She looked very disturbed, like tired and worked up. You know, America is intense. And she sat there, and we were like pulling out our prasadam. You know, very happy. She only had some, I don't know what she had, maybe some sandwich, something. She didn't look happy, and we looked so happy. And I just thought, okay, Krishna sent her. So I asked her, excuse me, are you on your break? She looked at me. Yes. Why? I said, no, because you looked a little stressed. Must be a hard day. I just trying to make conversation, just like when you sell books. I said, you look a little stressed. She said, oh, yeah, I can imagine. And it still is not over. I have a long shift. Oh, wow, amazing. Oh, you must be a tough person, eh? But you look so young. Yeah, I'm young and I have a daughter, single mother. Oh, wow. Even so more. So she was like, nice. I said, listen, we just finished our tour in America about stress. I was giving these presentations. I just making it up. Just giving these presentations on how to manage stress. And we have like a homework. Every time we see somebody stressed, we are meant to approach. Just to find out, you know. So she looked very bewildered. She says, really? I have to pay you? I said, no, you don't have to pay me. I want to make an experiment. You see, now I'm talking nice to you, and you're already kind of smiling. And you know, we are vegetarian. In fact, my son is vegan. And we have all this food they pack for us. And I was wondering, right? You see, there are 3 powerful things that can change a person's mind immediately. By then, she was already listening. And I said, if I give you a gift, if I give you food, or if I listen to your troubles, immediately, this is what Rupa Goswami says, immediately you will feel less stress. I'm already doing this, and you're already feeling better, I can tell. Oh, yes, you're good, eh? My son was just eating. He said, don't give my cake. Anyway, I said, you mind if, you know, we have plenty. We have salty, I show, and then we have sweet. We can share. We have for 4 or 5 people here for 2 days. So she said, okay. I said, you trust me? Look, my son is eating. So we gave 1 pack. Oh, she devoured it. Oh, this is so good. Give me the address. Oh, this is the Hare Krishna temple. You know Hare Krishna? No, I don't. It's called Govinda Restaurant. It's in Venice Boulevard near. Oh, give me the address. Give me the address. I want to go. She immediately, and I said, and that's not all. We have juice and we have cake for you. And we gave another pack of cake. That lady was in ecstasy. So ecstatic. She was eating Bhar Prashadam. We gave him juice. Says, you are the best people I ever met. Nobody asked me how am I doing. Not even my boss or my colleagues sometimes. What does Bigo give me free food? In America, nobody gives you free food. This is expensive. I said, you know, I got for free. I give you for free. No problem. She was so happy. Immediately, she looked like a devotee. like Hare Krishna. He says, what is that restaurant name? Hare Krishna. And we practice a mantra. You repeat after me. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Very simple. So you go to that restaurant, you buy this food, and then they can teach you how to meditate for free. And I was thinking, 5 minutes ago, I was just thinking, I'm going to eat my pakoras and my koftas, and then I'm going to eat my cake and my, passion fruit juice, right? And somehow Krishna sent this lady, and she was getting the address, the name. I'm going to go, and I'm going to buy for my daughter, and I'm going to bring my friends, and I'm going to bring it here. Gee, this is one of my best days of my life. So, the mind is very powerful. And the mind, if our mind is in a good state, that can also influence others. Right? Anybody, not only devotee, anybody. So we all have the opportunity to talk to the rickshawala or to the lady at the corner or whoever. Talk about Krishna consciousness. Slowly, slowly. And then Krishna will make the arrangement like that. And help them from so many past reactions and future reactions. This process is so simple. Gornitai, he says, Kevala Ananda Kanda. Kevala Ananda Kanda. Simply joyful. Every step, you see them every day, they are so happy. They're super happy, super cool. Right? Just Krishna Prasad, chant, dance. When you get tired, little rest. So Krishna Prasad, again, chant, dance, like that. That's the simple process. Then the mind, it's peaceful. No need to make so much special endeavor to do this or to do that. Everybody wants to be happy. Whether with some money or with some simple life or with some company. Whatever you need, you may acquire that. But the most important thing is the mind. If the mind is not happy, I'm sure many people here in Chennai, I see big man, big mustache, big gold and chains, typical South India, big big car, big driver, no? I see these guys around, all in anxiety, shouting, so much anxiety. It doesn't seem happy. Maybe they have a lot of money, but doesn't seem happy. Isn't it? I can feel it. Right? Doesn't matter if you're rich or you're powerful or influential, but make your mind peaceful. Make your mind satisfied. Why? Because Krishna says in chapter 6, if your mind is controlled, your mind is can become your best friend. And if your mind is uncontrolled, your mind will be the worst enemy. So whether rich or poor, whether you live in the forest or you live in the middle of the city, Grihe Tako, Bane Tako, Sadahari, Pole Tako. Just by chanting Hare Krishna, then everything is peacefully arranged for your mind to be happy and satisfied. This is Srila Prabhupada's process. We don't have to become too complicated. Just associate with devotees, take some prasadam, chant Hare Krishna, preach, do some service, and then the mind becomes pacified. Right? And it doesn't become pacified so quick, then just wait. It's like if you take a medicine and the medicine doesn't work, just wait. That the doctor says, no, just take 2-3 more days and keep taking it. So Prabhupada said like that. Just keep chanting, keep chanting, keep chanting, keep associating, keep taking prasadam. If you want to boost, go to Mayapur or Vrindavan or Jatra, Janmastami, Sunday feast, come for Mongol Artik, chant japa, here class, like that. Do something. Do something practical. Do what works. And then, one day, oh, my mind has become peaceful. I remember I used to be so crazy. Now my mind is much better now. Much better. Like that. So this is the process. Why? Because we constantly associate with the Supreme Personality of Godhead and His representatives, the Vaishnavas. So we stop here. If there's any questions, we have 1 minute or two. Any questions? Any comments? Thank you for your time, your patience. Yes. Mm. Mm. Yep. So the question is that every desire sometimes manifests, right? Well, Prabhupada gives a simple example, just like a fan. You see the fan, the wings of the fan are moving and they are generating friction. And they are generating then, thus, air, wind. So each movement contributes to the next one. So whatever you did influences whatever you're doing, and whatever you're doing influences the next action. So it goes like that. That's the samsara, karma. However, according to the process of pancharatrika, or the process of initiation specifically, the fan, the source of that fan, it's disconnected. And although the fan will continue to rotate for a little while, it has a certain design, has a certain size. Some of these fans, they are very temperamental. Sometimes they wobble like that. Sometimes they make sound. So each one of us has a particular fan. We are like we are. And that's not going to change overnight. But what changes is the motivation. That changes. And in time, that fan doesn't function in the selfish way that has been functioning all these millions of births. And happens by the mercy of the Lord. Now, how to make sense of that? That's why I mentioned the process of pancharatrik means we don't know. Like sometimes you have these cars, and the cars have petrol, and then they change it to LPG, right? So you don't know. I mean, you understand the logic, but you go to somebody who knows to do the whole change. In the same way, we don't know. We know material. Our parents are experts, our great parents were experts, other people were experts, but we don't know how to change that. So then we go to the person who knows. So he says, oh, okay, nice fan, But let me change the system. Let me spiritualize. Keep on working in the way that you have been working. Just change a few things. Wake up a little earlier, chant one round, give some dakshin, associate with devotees maybe once a week. Try to change your diet, etc. And then it slowly starts changing. Maybe it happened 10, 20, 30 years. And then one day you think, gee, this feels different. I'm going to work, but I feel something inside. I'm going to eat, but I feel different. I listen to songs, but spiritual songs. I feel different. Huh? I see these things. You see, in India, for example, I go to different holy places, Rishikesh and Vrindavan and Puri and other places. And I see people who are very materialistic going to those places. You can tell. They come with their pots and their food and their kids and everything is like, the mood is to enjoy. I go to the holy place, but I enjoy. It's good that they come to the holy place. But then you see when they become devotees, it's a different story. They like this, Prabhu, Haribol, everyone's so humble, everything changed. I can see even the dynamics. Sometimes family comes when we preach, because I preach in Australia also. So these people become devotee, and sometimes the family says, before we used to come, before arriving, we're already fighting. Kids are fighting with wife, fighting with in-laws, so much fighting. So much fighting and so much spending. Top food, top room, top card, everything. It's a different conscience. It's like, it's like, and when you go to a dirty street, everything is dirty. But when they become devotees, I have seen them. Different story. Different families. Oh, Prabhu, so wonderful. Krishna is so wonderful. We went this place, and the pujari came, and they gave one garland. Everyone's so blissful. The kids, they want to go for darshan. In-laws, they want to come and do for puja and abhishek and this, that. And they want to go for chanting. So different. Because something is changing by the agency of the spiritual master. By associating with the Supreme Personality of Godhead and their representatives. So everything starts changing. Keeps moving, but moves differently. So, it's like that. Of course, everything that you do, consciously or unconsciously, connected to the Supreme, it changes the nature of that action. Just the fact of eating is different. Just the fact of walking is different. We don't know. You walk to the Ganga. It's just a river. I've been so many rivers. But the fact that I'm walking there, something is changing. And now I think, let me go to Ganga. And that changes. And it is explained that if somebody dies just thinking of Ganga, it's a higher destination. So all these things are very powerful. And they are very powerful in the mind. The mind is subtle. And we think that the mind is quite gross. Because whatever we think, I'm going to wear white, so I put white. I'm going to take off my watch. Okay, so it becomes very manifest. But there are different aspects, the subtle aspect of the mind that we cannot see. For that, we need to fast, we need to chant, we need to wake up early, and then you can feel some things. Okay, it's different. This is different. 4:30 in the morning, you can feel different. Otherwise, we cannot see. So it is important to hear Bhagavatam, to chant mantras loudly, to circumambulate Tulsi, like that. Very, very powerful. Take prasada. Like that. So the subtle aspect of Krishna consciousness, sometimes we take it for granted. So it's good. Like you see the faces of these people. They're all very absorbed. They're all very within. You see, they're absorbed. So the mind, you can tell, the mind is different. No big suit and ties, or big drivers. They're all very peaceful. Evam prashana manaso, the mind is fixed. So we need to observe those who are like that, and then we need to respect and appreciate and try to follow. And then gradually the mind changes. So many stories, so many stories, so many stories. I have heard, I have seen people go like, oh, Prabhu, I used to be crazy. Indian families in Australia, they tell me privately, oh, Prabhu, every Friday, big alcohol party in my place. Indian families. Now got some money, no? Good job. Best drink. Invite other friends. Party. Big movie, Bollywood, this, that. Send the kids to bed. Oh, we're having nice time. But then so many anxieties. And so many other things they tell me privately. But now, since they become devotees, their mind's so peaceful. Bhakti Vriksha, this program, that program, Gita class, chanting. It's simple, but it's so powerful, so powerful. Like that. So we need to encourage others. Oh, so late. So we stop here. Gantarat Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Gaur Premanandi Hari Hari Bo. Sorry for taking so long.